Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, and welcome to our Orthodox channel. Sadly, in our time people think less and less about the words they speak. Our language is rapidly losing its purity, and many no longer even notice how foul language appears in their daily speech. And today's youth even believe that swearing is fashionable, stylish, a way to express themselves, a way to fit in with friends. Some even laugh at those who speak cleanly and without profanity, saying, "You're old-fashioned, too holy." But do we truly understand what is happening when we utter dirty, especially obscene, words? Do we realize that every such word is not just an emotion, but a spiritual act with real consequences? A word is power. By His word God created the world. By His word Christ healed. And by a word a person can either bless their life or destroy it. So what are obscene words from the Church's point of view? The Holy Fathers speak clearly. Obscene words are not just rudeness, they are demonic speech. Their structure, content, and semantic roots are a desecration of what God has made holy. Motherhood, birth, the family order, bodily purity. Venerable Ambrose said that foul words are the language of unclean spirits, for they touch the most sacred things, trying to distort and defile them. And Elder Paisios the Athonite said that when a person utters unclean words, the soul darkens, and demons gather, for they hear their own language. Saint John Chrysostom called foul language a poison with which the devil scorches the human soul. In other words, obscene speech is not just filth, it is a call to the unclean. A person often thinks, "It just slipped out, I was joking, I was angry." But in the spiritual world, there are no neutral words. Everything is either light or darkness. Obscene words have historical and spiritual roots in pagan spells, curses, invocations of unclean forces. These are words that twist what is holy and spit upon God's very design for humanity. This is why the saints say that such words are names, characteristics, or symbols of demons. And when a person pronounces them, they are effectively saying something the demons understand as permission, as an invitation. Just as prayer draws angels, foul language draws demons. This is not a metaphor, this is a spiritual law. We call misfortune upon ourselves, and then we wonder where it came from. We wonder why life is full of troubles, constant stress, why quarrels arise at home, why illnesses fall one after another, why a child disobeys, why there is no peace in the family. And the answer is often simple and frightening. A person calls unclean spirits into their home with their own tongue. The Holy Fathers even said, if after the blessing of a house an obscene word is spoken inside, the house may need to be blessed again, because impurity is already present. A demon has no power to act without permission, but foul language is precisely what gives him the legal right to enter. This is the spiritual law. What we utter with our lips is what we invite into our hearts. We fear curses, sorcery, spells, yet we ourselves open the door to the devil. People fear that someone might cast a spell or utter a curse, but they do not notice that obscene words are themselves curses, spoken by their own lips. We invite the unclean into our own lives, our homes, and, most terrifying, into the lives of our children. A family line is a single spiritual organism. The impurity of one becomes a wound for all. In Orthodoxy, the family line is a spiritual unity, and when one of the parents constantly swears, especially with obscene words, they spiritually harm their entire family, for every filthy word is a blow to the grace of the household. Now imagine a person who goes to church, prays for their children, asks for protection and health, lights candles, and then steps outside and utters obscene words, which are a call to unclean spirits. Such a prayer becomes an anti-prayer, because with the same mouth a person asks God and serves the devil. In other words, we ourselves destroy our spiritual life. The Holy Fathers were right when they said, "It is impossible to glorify God with pure hymns and at the same time glorify the devil with filthy words." But what should we do if this problem is already present? First, realize that obscene language is spiritual poison. Second, repent sincerely in confession, understanding that every word had consequences. Third, renounce this habit and ask God to purify your tongue and your thoughts. Fourth, pray that the Lord may heal the harm already done to yourself and your loved ones. And then a person will feel that the home has become quieter, the soul calmer, relationships gentler, and the heart brighter. For where a person stops speaking unclean words, there is no longer a place for unclean spirits, and angels come instead.